Good morning. We're going to call the meeting to order for April 28th, 2026.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'll take a moment for a little prayer. Let's gather our thoughts. Dear God, we thank you for such a beautiful country, state, and we're so blessed to live in Seneca County. As elected officials, we ask that you look over our meeting and that we make decisions in the best interest of all our citizens, and that you reach out and support all those in need in our county, as we have many people continuing to help and work together to make our place where we live better. Amen.
Roll call.
All right. Commissioner Frankert,
Here.
Commissioner Bustacker.
Here.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Here.
Okay. I will accept a motion to approve the digital audio video recordings of the previous board session from Tuesday, April 21st, 2026.
Make a motion. Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Here. Yes.
Commissioner Bustacker.
Yes. Here and yes.
Commissioner Frankert.
Yes.
Okay.
I need more coffee, Cheryl. I'm not quite there yet.
All right, so we have an appointment today. We have Kelly Lowry from Sedgwick Workers' Comp Program. So come on up and
Thank you so much.
thank you for coming.
You should have each received a little packet there with some information in it. On the left side is just kind of general information, the difference between the managed care organization and the third-party administrator. Dustin Napper's here with me today from the managed care organization. Excuse me, we're both Sedgwick, but the Bureau requires a firewall between us, so we're like sister companies, two sides to a coin, everywhere. The managed care organization, you choose them, but you don't pay them. The Bureau pays them out of your premium. Third-party administrator, you choose us, you pay us. It's an annual renewal. Theirs is every 2 years, okay? And it is that time of year. So I did bring some.
How many years have you
trending-
worked with the county?
Boy, I
20
think
plus?
it's been definitely,
Okay.
probably very close to 30.
Okay.
So, and we appreciate that too. Do you mind if I stand right?
No.
Okay, perfect.
What you have first in your packet is something called an executive summary report.
You might be locked out or something.
No, he was making copies.
Oh, he's making copies. Should, okay.
For his information.
Oh, good.
You have everything on it. All right, so this is the executive summary. It's just kind of a high-level trending report to give you an idea of how the county is doing. The first level the first page shows your frequency. And what I point out to you on this page is that you're on track for about 12 claims for the 2026 year, okay? That's half of what you were for the 2 previous years. So that's a really, really good trend. If we could stay on that trend, you're gonna be in a good position, not that you're not now. The next page looks like this. This is a comparison of what you have lost, the total modified losses, that's the total claims costs for a 4-year window that the Bureau looks at to set your premium, okay? Across from that TLL number, that's what a county of your size, on average in Ohio, would lose over that same period of time. Okay, so this is kind of a comparison of how the county does versus the other counties in Ohio of a similar size. What I would point out to you here is that from 24 to 26, you had a 69% drop in losses. And that's really because 2 claims fell off of your experience. 2 claims were total $154,000, okay? So, good job. Again, that's the way we need to go, right? The next page shows your payroll versus your premium. So when you pay premium, you're paying it at a rate times payroll. So if payroll goes up, and premium should go up. Payroll goes down, premium goes down. In your case, what happened was your payroll is relatively steady during that period of
So
time.
you can't lower your rate even though our payroll goes up?
Well, you
Make
did.
everything go down?
That's exactly what I'm showing you.
Okay.
Your payroll's flat,
That's what I
your
wanted to
premium
hear.
dropped by 16%.
So you were just leading into the
Just leading in-
punchline?
yeah, that's right.
Sorry, I jumped ahead.
That's all right.
That was- That's good.
All right, this is all good news, really, you guys are doing great. The last page shows the program that you've been in. So every year, annually, you'll select a program. Since 2010, the program
You
you've
help us do
selected.
that,
We do,
Yeah,
that's what
so
I'm doing
we
right
pretty
now,
much
as a matter of
do.
fact. Yep,
follow your guidelines.
yep. You guys have selected group retrospective ratings since 2010, okay? And what this page shows you is that since that time, you've received in refunds under that program, $762,886 back. That's phenomenal. In addition to that, we're expecting you to get a check here shortly for over $30,000. That's your refund for this, for the last, as of December 30th.
Sure.
Bureau has 4 months to release it, they take every day of that 4 months. So you'll probably get it either the last week of April or first week of May. Also tells you we've attended 7 hearings before the Industrial Commission for you and settled 2 claims. And then that last line just really thanks
Is
you.
this for 2 years?
This is for 1 year.
This is last year,
This is
yeah.
all, yes,
Okay.
annual,
Got it.
okay?
Yep.
And the last part just thanks you for your business. Thank you for being a good client. The next one you might be interested in, this report. This is kind of a new report for us. It's called an injury cost analysis report. And what this report will show you is, the first page shows the causes of your injuries and the number and how much cost you have associated with those injuries. As you'll see here, your slips, trips, and falls, they're number 1. They're the most expensive claim for you. $7,000 on average, $7,300 for those claims. The most frequent, however, is a strain, which is a good thing, right? The strains are going to be the less expensive claims, and you can see that. That average drops to under $2,500 for those. The next page, interestingly enough, shows you what would happen if you eliminated those accidents. So let's say you were able to eliminate all of your slips, trips, and falls. It would reduce your premium by $36,975 annually. If you just reduced it by half, if you just cut your injuries in half, just those slips, trips, and falls by half, you'd save $18,500 a year just by cutting those slips, trips, and falls by half. Okay?
Yeah, I like that.
And you can see how the other injuries will impact you as well. And this is a cumulative savings, by the way. It's not each. The $36,000 is for that. Everything else is cumulative. Okay? Okay, the next report, you're gonna have to bear with me here. This is kind of a shortened version of what the Bureau does.
Do we pay premium in advance?
You do.
Yeah.
You pay it prospectively,
Yeah.
based on what the Bureau
Claims
thinks your
are
payroll is gonna
represented.
be.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah. Okay.
So the Bureau looks at a 4-year window of claims.
And our policy date
It's,
is,
your policy begins 1/1.
is 1/1.
Yeah.
So we are having a discussion, we're renewing the administrator's contract, but we're not really doing anything with the premium until
Right?
October. When do we pay that? October,
You
November?
typically pay it in December.
We pay it in December.
It's due January 1st, but you get a discount for paying
And
it
so
in
when I'm
advance
staring at 2027 premium, that's what we'll pay in
at
December.
the end of this month, or at the end of this year, yes, correct.
Fair, I understand.
Okay?
Yep.
Bureau likes to use lots of different dates.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes,
Well-
those are the important ones right now.
Got it.
So what this shows you is how the Bureau calculates your premium. Okay, so they're always looking at a 4-year window of claims. For 2027, that means they're gonna look at claims from 21, 22, 23, and 24. God bless you.
Thank you.
So 4 years, right? They total those up, and you can see your total there, 177,000. That number is carried same, right down here, and that's your total modified losses that we talked about in that other report, okay? Those are your losses, 177. Now look at the number next to that. That's what the Bureau says a county of your size on average would lose over that period of time. 206,000. So you lost 177. Everybody else, all the other counties of your size, on average are losing 206. That's how much better you're doing. Make sense?
Yeah.
So the Bureau puts that through a peer ratio, applies a credibility rating, comes out at the end and says, because you're under, they're gonna give you a 5% discount on the base rate, or you're gonna pay 95% of the base rate. Make sense? You can see your base rate there to the right of that is 5% less. That times what we think your payroll is gonna be, because exactly as you said, Tony, it's paid prospectively, right?
Yeah.
Gives us your premium, $234,173. Okay? That's the starting point for your programs. This page is gonna show the programs that you're eligible for 2027. Okay?
Is this where Justin comes in?
No, not yet.
You're still
I'm the-
doing your,
Yeah, I'm the financial person. He's gonna
Yeah.
be the more medical person, if that makes sense.
yeah.
All right, so what this shows you, each of these columns is a program that you could go into, okay? Group rating, you're really too big for that program. If you were to go into it, you'd drive it, you wouldn't see any savings from it. Group retro is where you've been since 2010, and you can see I bolded and put in green your savings, our estimate. The CCAO is a really good, solid group. It's been together since the beginning, since 2010, and it's very strong. The members share successes, right? Talk about failures. They are very conservative in their estimate on what they think their refund is gonna be. If you were to look at that sheet, you would see that your average refund under the CCAO Group Retro program is over 31%. But you see, they're going out at a 20. They like to overperform, right? Underestimate, overperform. So if we come back at that 20, that means that you would receive back $46,835. If you actually came back at the 31, that number would be $72,594 if we came back at the average. The highlighted number before there is your risk, okay? If everybody does poorly, it'd have to be a whole lot of everything, because you know it's a big group. You could end up paying in an additional $11,709. It's never happened, hopefully it will never happen, but that potential is out
That's your
there.
exposure.
Yep. So that's the program that you've been in historically. The alternative to that program, there's two of them, individual retro and self-insurance. Individual retro is a quasi-self-insurance where you're paying dollar for dollar for any claim that you have, and your liability is for 10 years. All right, so if you go in it in 2027, that means 2037, you're gonna be paying dollar for dollar for that claim that occurred in 2027, okay? This one has good savings, 95,000 is the estimated savings for that, but look at the potential risk, 234,000.
Big tail there.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
tail, big payout, exactly. Self-insurance, 100% savings, right? You're not paying a premium, you're paying a very small premium to the Bureau for self-insurance, but you're paying every claim dollar for dollar, cradle to grave, right? For the life of the claim. Potential liability is unlimited because the Bureau doesn't allow you to have an aggregate. You can have a per claim cap, no aggregate cap. So it's potentially unlimited. So as you look at this, you can see why you've selected Group Retro since 2010. I think
If you did the self-insured and he went bankrupt or whatever, what happens to the employee that's on this bill?
it continues to be paid. The Bureau has what's called the surplus fund, I don't know why they call it that.
Yeah.
Has about $10 billion in it right now. So if someone goes
If
self-insured.
you can't
they
buy
go
any, if you can't buy any insurance for it, then
No.
do we pay into it, like FDIC insurance? Is there a little
Yeah, everybody pays into the surplus.
portion that goes into the surplus? Well, that makes
Everybody
sense.
does.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they insure it.
That's exactly right.
I got it.
And anything that goes out of your experience, because remember, you're only looking at a 4-year window. Really, a claim is gonna impact you for 4 years, but it's gonna be 6 years long, right? Because it's the earliest 4 of the last 6 years. So anything that's older than that, the claim doesn't stop. I mean, if it's still going, the Bureau continues to pay it, and it's out of that surplus fund,
Okay, that makes sense.
okay?
Okay, yeah.
So that decision needs to be made fairly soon. It's just one form that needs to be signed. Have you seen it? I have the invitation for you.
Is it in that packet?
I have a copy with me if you need it.
Was
We got-
it,
That's not the.
We got the renewal, and we just
Yeah.
called you and
Yeah.
then handed it to Cheyenne, thinking
Okay.
we'd go over it maybe after the meeting or something.
Yeah,
Sign,
that's good, because you'll need a resolution.
We'll need a resolution.
Yeah, but
What's
she's
the
got a
resolution
resolution.
for today?
well, that's, I
Is
had
that
it
what it's
added,
for?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's at
we're
the
gonna
end.
have a resolution.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Because we don't have an administrator here, you can help the three of us and Cheyenne.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Get
two.
it all set. and,
Absolutely. Yep.
This has been really informative. So the plan that we've been on the CCAO. Yeah, and that would be option 2 there.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, I'm not sure over all the years you've been here, we've even, I think maybe the administrator just made that decision.
Yeah, since I've been here.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it, but I'm okay with just, while we're in an open meeting here, just staying with group retro, with CCAO, so we can make that decision now or at the same time as the resolution.
Is that
That's
what we need to
okay
do
with
for the
you?
resolution?
Yeah.
And make it
Yeah,
real
it's
simple.
just,
We're set,
Well, the resolution also is authorizing him to sign it,
Okay.
so.
the prize will sign, but when Dustin comes, look out, we're not done with him.
I thought I was out of it.
I'll go back and pray for him while he talks.
There you go.
Well, nice job.
Thank you very much for the
Thank
you.
question.
Thank you so much.
No, nice job.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, it was informative.
Thank you.
I could never have explained that. You know, if you asked me to explain work. This falls under Tom, you're always learning, you know what I mean? Like,
I've been doing it a long time and I'm still learning. so-
right,
so,
right.
yeah.
Well, there's a test at the end. It's not open book either. so.
Uh-oh.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dustin Napper with Sedgwick MCO, the managed care organization here for Seneca County. So we medically manage workers' comp claims. I think I could overhear Kelly saying a little bit of kind of the who does what in workers' comp. And so from my perspective, Sedgwick MCO's role is to medically manage the workers' comp claims, the injuries from, injury to resolution, and we also pay the medical bills, usually at a much reduced rate than what is charged by the providers, and we'll see that here in a couple of the documents, but.
So can I just have, this is real basic.
Absolutely.
So if I work here and I'm injured, I get in contact with with your group to manage what happens after that?
Correct, so
Kelly, we pay the premium and.
I work with the employer.
You work
He
with
works
the employer,
He
yeah.
works with everybody.
And so this is a good point, Mr. HR down there, because
Those computer guy.
we had an employee that had a Sedgwick question, and I went to Cheyenne, or I went to Andrea, and she says, the employee deals direct. We're not in that.
We're not, right.
Okay, so they would call you with therapy or.
exactly,
And
so
then
all of the
if we
medical
get to an
care,
issue
yep.
where there's a disagreement, then maybe it comes to.
Then we
Then you
get
come in.
involved when there's a
Okay.
disagreement. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah,
I
so
understand.
my organization's role as the MCO, the medical side, is to coordinate medical care. So to make sure that folks, if they're approved for therapy, are they attending? Where can we help get them to a local facility or an MRI? All of that. Working with the providers to obtain the medical documentation to support said requests and return to work information.
Return to work, all of.
Yep, all of
Slips and all that stuff.
Yep, everything that comes along with that documentation gathering, so we provide telephonic case management. So at Sedgwick MCO, we have a non-clinical case coordinator, Kim Dillaway, who works with you all, and then our nurse case manager as well. I'm gonna say that's Sherry Browning. So they are hitting the phones pretty hard.
This is
All
why
of
we
it-
have an HR department. One of the reasons we have an HR department is to help.
Coordinate all of it,
county
yep,
Administration and coordinate all this.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Right.
then,
Thank,
yep, so my group will work to obtain those medical records and documentation, provide that, to the county representative to supply to the departments and coordinate return to work. So, again, mentioning that we approve, negotiate, or sometimes deny treatment based upon what's allowed in the claim or what's being considered in the claim and is it appropriate. So, again, we have clinical nurse, we have nurses, reviewing that information. We also have a medical director, Dr. Kessler, who is deeply involved in a lot of, some of the more challenging claims that come around
Sure.
or requests that come through or, but in some of the information that I provided to you, there's a webinar series, just some learning opportunities throughout the summer with our medical director, Dr. Kessler, and our VP of Clinical Ops, June McPherson. So just some diving into best practices and strategies when it comes to claims management and what to kind of look for and how to,
So do we get emails sent to us on that?
yes.
Who normally
So-
would get that? Would that be our HR person? Would that be our?
And if someone wants to be
Administrator.
signed up to receive that, let me know if,
Yeah, because we have some changes on some things that
Yeah,
are coming up,
right.
so make sure that it's something that
Another
doesn't
fall
get
through.
missed.
To start, it'd be,
Cheyenne, make sure she's on too.
yeah,
Yeah.
it
We
would
can,
be the
we
office,
can
would
send
be,
all, Sedgwick is huge on education, we have
Yeah.
a million webinars, but we can send them to you electronically, so whoever wants to register can just click a button and register for them.
Yeah.
go back to that.
Yeah, we just have some changes that are going on, so making sure that nothing gets missed and.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, this is nice.
we'll
Well,
send them to you.
and if something is missed, per se, from the training end of things, we are recording our webinars as well, so we have a whole library now, of our sessions. So if you can't catch the live version, the recorded version is just as great. So, but yeah, so that's the role of the MCO. We're the medical side for you. We're an independent party in the process, so we are working with you as the employer, the injured worker, and the provider, and anyone's representatives there within. So,
Do you work with all SEPCO clients? Or you were Seneca County?
Seneca County.
Yeah, are there other people like you that have other counties, other firms?
Yes,
Okay.
not very many, but.
No.
No,
Few.
most counties work with
Oh,
CCAO.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
And then,
Yeah.
so on the prevention side, when CCAO, when you look at the property and casualty insurance, it's not only property loss, but it's injury and liability, that kind of thing. So they have safety courses, all these different safety courses at Corsa. So are you involved in any of those, or do you kind of aware of them? You're doing, this is, the injury occurs and what happens after that.
Mhm.
What I'm talking about is the prevention before that.
Yeah.
It's all part of Corsa
Right.
or part of the CCAO.
Right,
You're actually not part of Corsa, you're a separate sliver.
correct.
Yeah, work comp, you're
We
separate.
partner
Vendor
with
too, yeah.
You work
CCAO.
with them.
Correct, correct.
Okay, I understand, I'm just clarifying from my,
Yep,
because when we go through the Corsa renewal, the property casualty renewal, we don't talk about work comp.
right, right.
Because when
It's
that
separate.
came in, I said, hey, and so it does make sense to me now as I'm really looking at it, I guess. Okay.
There's a lot of hands in the pot.
Yeah, right, you got some
Intermingled, yeah,
right, exactly, visions.
But there's strength in numbers with all the counties combining, and you're
There's
right,
savings in
conservative
numbers.
and there's savings, yeah.
Right.
And from the safety perspective, Kelly, I don't know that I caught all of what your introduction and everything, but Sedgwick, whether it's.
Yeah, we have a safety department that can help.
Besides too.
Yep,
Those are things for HR.
like a safety walkthrough.
That's true HR stuff, we should be doing safety and that kind of
Mhm.
stuff,
Yeah.
versus more of what we've been talking about.
And
No, I
they-
like it, this is good.
Yeah, and our safety team offers webinars throughout the year as well, and
Yeah, I'm gonna send
perfect.
those, I'm gonna
Perfect.
send them all to you.
Yep. So, we got you covered from a lot of the angles, so.
And then, and finally, and there used to be way back, there are only 2 or 3 states like Ohio that have work comp, there's 4 states.
For monopolistic states, right?
Yeah, can you,
You
so,
can only get through the state.
if you live in Colorado, you could go buy Hartford or CNA or whoever work comp, but if you live in the state of Ohio, you have to go through the state of Ohio.
There are advantages to that, though.
And there's 4 states like that out of 50,
Correct,
and Ohio's one of them,
it is, it is.
okay?
I always say, like I said, you have $10 billion in the surplus fund, right? If that were a private company, you would not have $10 billion in a
Yeah.
surplus fund, you'd have $10 billion in stakeholder pockets,
Yeah.
maybe. But,
So then, our choice, we have to go through Ohio work comp, but we can choose the administrator,
correct,
okay, and then with your.
Managed care.
Managed care,
that's correct,
Yep.
that's exactly
okay.
right.
But we follow state laws and Ohio work comp policy.
That's right.
Perfect.
I think what I'm learning is that we need to get him an application.
Right, he's ready to roll.
You gotta figure
I've
it
been out
out.
a long time, it's like the light's just coming on today for me, so.
The more you hear it,
You just hear what I mean, so it makes a lot more sense now, but I could not have explained it before, you know.
We've been doing it.
I
a
get
long
it
time.
now, yeah.
So
Good
from,
job.
thank you. So whereas Kelly in the third-party administrator side is your TPA, their renewal and the group plans and all of that wonderful stuff that she just went over with you. On the managed care side, our enrollment is completely separate. And whereas theirs is on an annual basis, ours is biannual. So every 2 years, usually during the month of May, in the spring, there's a 30-day open enrollment period. We are thankfully in an off year.
Okay.
Thankfully, because it's such a small
So
window.
we'll see you next year.
Yeah. See you next year, right. But yeah, so, I mean, we've been around for 20-some years since, you know, everything started with BWC, and we work with half the state.
And just so, I just want to mention, so we're trying to, as commissioners, we don't want to micromanage and get in the weeds of everything, but we sure want to know what's going on, and we're paying the bill and making the decisions, right? So I would think in this case, next year when your contract's up, you would talk to the county administrator directly, and he or she would just renew it. Or if they felt it needed to come to us, probably for final resolution and approval, that's how it would work.
Yeah.
Contractuals will have to
And-
do it.
Contract, but you wouldn't need to come necessarily unless we invited you.
So the beauty of the MCO's process is there is no formal contract. So there's no document to sign to renew, it's an automatic renewal.
No
So-
resolution because there's no money involved.
Right,
They're paid by the premium, you don't pay them.
Yep.
Okay, that's part of it.
that was, yep. So,
So
it's a little.
who decides who's your boss then?
Well,
That's a heck of
depends
a
on the
deal.
day.
You got no contract,
Depends on the day.
you get paid by.
PWC is their boss.
Yeah, workers' comp.
Yeah, so
Now
we
that
have to
makes
follow
sense.
all the rules and regs
Now I
of
understand.
BWC.
You know what I mean, like somebody has to.
Right, accountability.
That's all of our accountability, straight to the
So I
bureau.
learned something there then, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, hey, we've actually got probably more accountability than anybody, because we've got the providers, you know,
Yeah.
and we've got the injured workers, we've got you as employers, and the bureau. So we've got everybody kind of watching out every single move that we make as the managed care side, so.
Good.
But,
Very good.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. We're
Thank you.
good.
absolutely. All right.
You guys can take off if you, no, you have to stay.
Right, because we gotta do the resolution.
You wrote it.
Are you done?
One thing I wanted to.
Say, I didn't think you was
No,
done.
no, you're good. One thing I do want to touch on
Yep.
is the medical savings report.
Okay.
So there's a one-page document that says Sedgwick MCO savings. So for the period of your injuries going back to a year ago, any claims that had medical payments made through, we were billed over 180,000 in medical by the providers. We actually paid out 47,449. So that's 132, almost 133,000 in savings from entering your cost calculation with your experience. So that's 73% of a discount. And a lot of that is not necessarily denials or anything like that, but it is, most of it's fee schedule. So the providers charge one thing, but the BWC's fee schedule that these providers agree to is actually usually 40 to 50% already off the top of what. So if they bill $100, we might pay 50. So, and the provider must write that off. There's no balance billing or copay or anything within this workers' comp process for the injured worker, so. Could also be Sedgwick network savings, et cetera. So, just wanted to kind of share that
Yeah, no, it's good.
information, and
Yeah.
in the trending report, some of that information is duplicative of what Kelly had, but, you know,
Show you
some
that schedule.
injury information with respect to months of the year, day of the week, and, you know, there's 75 claims as we look back, you know, to kind of piece through, so. If anyone has questions, let me know. Thank you all, appreciate your time, and thanks
Thanks for coming.
for coordinating this.
Really good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dustin.
Good information.
Okay. We'll go right into commissioner reports.
can go quick, mine's short.
Yep.
I spent a lot of time doing a lot of administrative type things, some really revolving around HR type things, so between that and IT stuff. Attended a Kids in Care meeting last week. There is definitely still an increase on the Kids in Care placement costs. It's not going away anytime soon. Attended an evening Arbor Day event last week,
Is
and
it going up, or is it
What's that?
flat? Is it holding its own
it
since last week?
we have one that will be back on the system. So there's one that,
Maybe a tick up?
yeah, it's gonna tick a little bit. So you guys should have gotten stuff sent to you if you get a chance to take a look at it. But as we've talked about, the placement costs, it's across the state of Ohio that placement costs are very high, and we are expected to make up the difference at the county level, so. That is definitely something that I've put my ear to pretty tightly. We've talked about some different things with potential, maybe even starting our own home. I don't know that at this point in time we're at that place. I'd like to say that there was a quick answer, but there's not, so. And,
Look at the options.
Yep, so moving on to you guys.
Okay, Tuesday was out to the LEPC meeting and stuff on that, and that's a nice meeting, kind of get update what's going on with our local emergency planning committee meeting stuff on it. So Wednesday we had Transportation Improvement District meeting. Mark Zimmerman's kind of chair of that, and it was about an 8-minute meeting, so which is yeah, kind of.
That's long.
That's long for Mark, right? So, yeah, so. But nope, it was a good meeting and stuff. They kind of gave an update. Part of the TID's going to be some project over Fostoria and stuff on it. That's coming together. So, and then Friday had the tree dedication out to the fairgrounds.
Yeah,
The
that was
Master
good.
Gardeners and stuff. They planted a tree in commemoration of the American 250 and stuff on that. Worked with the fair, and so when you come into the main gate, it'll be right to the right there, and they got a nice little plaque and stuff on it. So that was a nice. Thing that the Master Gardeners did for the fair, kind of for longevity. Actually, I was talking to Calvin Steib there, and some of those trees on there that they think might have been back from like 1850s and stuff, so the big trees are down there and stuff on
Wow.
it, so yeah, so it's.
Is
been going
that,
for a
that's
long
not
time.
part of the, that was separate, that's not part of your 250?
No, that was just the Master
Which were the
Gardeners.
townships?
Yeah,
right?
townships did, right.
Townships.
This was, actually, they got a grant, OSU got a grant to plant a tree that's basically
Separate.
native, would be the white oak and stuff,
Yeah.
that's what they ended up doing
Nice tree.
with it, so yeah, so it was
Okay, thanks.
good, yep, and then this brings up today then.
Yeah, I have a few things. I just received it from Judge Schuff. They would like, he and the courts would like two some letters of support. One is for the, and he needs them, sorry, Cheyenne, he needs them kind of, we could do it today. But we have it all here. One is for the, as a pivot grant for $600,000. And would like our support. And then he just sent me another one for probation. This would be a county support letter for CCA funding, Seneca County Adult Probation Department. And he explains that in his message. I'll forward it to you guys to look at. But I would like to have all three of us sign support letters for the judges for these two grants, if that's okay. I don't think we need a motion or anything. I'll just get that out. Was at the LEPC meeting as well. John, you got a lot going on with the 911 system coming. Went to Adams Township last night with Chris EMS, and we gave our annual, we provided an update of EMS for Adams, which was nice, and we went over to Bloom Township and did the same thing. And so a couple new trustees in each case, so I think it's good to continue to, of course, Adams was ground zero when we started EMS, but it was great, good reports there. Yeah, I'll stop there, that's all I have.
Okay. Any old business? Okay, none? Go ahead and go to new business. Oh, I'm sorry, county administrator report. You
Oh,
have-
it's okay, I didn't really have
Have
much to
anything?
report, nope.
Okay, very good. New business, supplemental appropriations.
Okay, so we do have just a handful here. The first one is for the Emergency Planning Commission Fund, in the salary lines of $13,000. This is for EMA. Chantel and John reached out to me. His fund that, he normally pays his salary out is in the negative, so he needs to put money on a couple of his other funds to be able to pay salaries for the rest of the year. So that's one of them. And then the second one for wireless 911 fund, also salaries of $40,000. This is the same thing, he's just putting money on a different fund to continue to pay the salaries for the rest of the year. And the other three are actually reverse sub-apps, so we're actually taking money from the fund and putting it back on the revenue side. There are all three for the Emergency Management Agency Fund. One in salaries of $30,000, one for equipment of $15,000, and one for contract services of $3,000. And this is just to help fix that negative in that fund.
So we'll go ahead and do.
Make a motion to approve these.
Second.
Commissioner Frankert second, so
Yep,
I've invited Jim.
discussion. John, you wanna?
Sure, I can make this a little clearer.
Yep.
This is killing two birds with one stone. One is that we took Matt Gray's technician salary that was being paid through EMS and was, impacting their budget, and I told him to move it over to mine because the majority of the work he does is on mine. This is just left over from Matt, started over there as an as a paramedic, and then he stayed on doing this and that, and it just never changed where his salary was coming from. Now, he's part-time, and so moving that over and my budget being under as far as revenue versus, what do you call it? I don't have the financial language for this, but I had more coming out than had coming in, and I was told, hey, you gotta fix that. And I was like, okay, well, I looked at it and went, well, here's what we can do. My salary plus Matt's salary were all coming out of 2102, which is EMA. And then I looked at the other two funds that I do a lot of work for by contract and just by job, and none, those weren't paying into my salary at all.
Cost allocation.
So what I did was I just allocated across the board, thus reducing the EMA's deficit issue. And those last two, 15 and 3,000, were just me fixing, dropping some money off, putting it back into the revenue side, and balancing my budget at EMA.
So when you start the year, you have 3 budgets?
Yes,
Okay, and so we approve a budget, you get a total, and then you're staying within all 3 of those?
yes,
You're just putting them in the right lines?
correct, yeah. That just helps even it out, because my salary can come from all 3 of those. Why should that all come from one when I do work
That
on
makes
all
sense
3?
to me, and I think
So.
these are the kind of things we're
Mm-hmm.
tweaking, right? With EMS and everything. Okay, I don't have anything else.
I'll make the motion to approve the supplemental appropriations.
It's already done.
We
We
did.
already did that.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, it's time for roll call.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Hey, I used to sit in that chair too, so it's contagious.
Is that what it is?
Wherever I go, there's always a...
My bad.
Alright, Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Bustecker,
Yes.
Commissioner Frankert.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, very good. Thanks, John, for coming in. All right, we're gonna move resolution time.
Alright, we just have a small handful here. The first one we have is resolution authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to enter into an agreement with H&E Janitorial for janitorial services for various departments effective June 22nd of 2026. I don't know if you gentlemen remember when we terminated the contract with Clean Team, and that takes effect in June, so this is just the new company that will be taking over.
Okay. So moved.
Second.
Alright, Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Bustecker,
Yes.
Commissioner Frankert.
I'm going to abstain. My daughter works for that company, so.
Okay. Alright. The next resolution we have is resolution authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to enter into an agreement with Zoll Medical Corporation for defibrillator/monitor professional maintenance on behalf of Seneca County EMS.
Make the motion.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Bustecker,
Yes.
Commissioner Frankert.
Yes.
The next one we have is resolution authorizing payment of late fees on US bank account. This is for the Pivot credit card. They reached out to me, and they have, it's $4 in late fees from 2 months. It's $2 each month it's late. And I also reached out personally to US Bank, and they will not remove these late fees because they were in fact paid late, and they just won't remove them, so.
Okay. Not gonna beat a dead horse.
Wait.
I hate making a motion to pay late fees, but I'll do it.
All right.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Bustecker,
Yes.
Commissioner Frankert.
Yes.
Alright, and then the last one I have is resolution authorizing William Frankert, President of the Board, to sign the 2027 Workers' Compensation Group Retrospective Rating Plan Agreement between Seneca County and County Commissioners Association of Ohio.
So move.
Second.
Okay.
Yeah. Roll call.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Bustecker,
Yes.
Commissioner Frankert.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have.
Get that. Take that with them. Thank you, President.
Okay, any other business you guys have? Okay, public comment. Everything? John?
I do have a few updates here. I just
Sure.
want to talk about some of our successes this year and tell people about the upcoming training. Now, you've heard a lot of this at LEPC, but you're going to hear it again, probably many more times this spring. On this Saturday, this is an interesting one, and it's open to the public, and it's free, but it's directed toward first responders and anybody else, first and second responders, I suppose we could say. And that is bovine emergency response plan training. And every time I say something, they go, bovine emergency response plan. Are you going to teach the cows how to make a plan? And I said, no. It's also known as burp training, so that's even better. Between the Seneca County EMA and the OSU Extension Office, we're putting on this training. Basically, and I'd never really thought about it before, but if a livestock trailer is involved in an accident, that's not normal information that you would have as a first responder. There's some specialized equipment there. You're dealing with injured and scared animals, and there's some planning and training that goes along with how to respond to that. So we're putting that training on. That is both a classroom and hands-on. There will be live cattle over in the horse barn at the fairgrounds for people to get to know, be a little more comfortable working around a large mammal. So that's May 2nd. May 14th, we have a 911 vendor coming in. They're going to give a 2.5-hour presentation. It's part of our due diligence on choosing a new 911
What time?
product. That's at 2 o'clock. It's 2 to 4:30. I don't know that it'll take all that time, but that's the time they told me. That's Thursday, May 14th, 2 p.m. Invitations have gone out to the people who need to be there. That's not a public one. And all of this will be revisited. So we've already had several meetings with Motorola. We're going to have another formal one just like this with Motorola, and then we're going to look at a third vendor and get
This has
them
nothing
in.
to do with the 20th. It does,
No.
not directly.
No, not directly,
Yeah.
right.
Sure, I got it, yeah.
So on the
High
20th,
level.
bringing that up.
High level.
Yep, May 20th, we're having an 8-hour training on addressing best practices for next generation 911. Datamark is coming up, the Seneca County 911 is paying for this training. We're bringing in all the addressing, people who do addressing in the county, the villages, the townships, whoever is in charge of that, to make sure that we're all addressing in the same way. Every time you have a new building go up, or land is split and platted differently, those addresses need to be put in appropriately so that the next generation 911 systems can find where that call's coming from. It will not work. You know, you look at it like this. Here's a perfect example. What's the difference between a Hubble telescope, which was awesome in the day, but James P. Webb gives you such better? Well, that's the difference between 911 and next generation 911. It's going to help us use GPS to find people rather than triangulation by cell phone towers. It's going to get it right down. And that requires addressing and road center lines and boundaries to be perfect with us inside our county, but also with the neighboring counties. So everybody's invited to that training. If it gets to be too big, we'll move that training to another location, like NCOESC. But right now, though, all the things I've talked about are going to be at the Public Safety Training Center on the camp.
How's that room, do we, the commissioners invested a bunch of money in technology, is that paying off?
Yes.
Do you use that a lot out there?
Yes, we use it for almost everything.
I think that it's good for the public to know
Yep.
that, really. It's
It's a great space.
brought us up
Yeah.
to the times
And we're able to utilize it now, and part of my plan, and this, I wasn't expecting to talk about this today, and I'm not gonna talk about it much,
Yeah.
but one of my plans is to really utilize that as maybe in the future as a revenue source, okay? I wanna offer as many free trainings to the public, to our first responders, to the county as a whole as I can, but people do call and say, can we use that space? Depending on who's calling, if it's another government entity, et cetera,
Yeah, we can
you
talk
know,
about it.
we'll need to talk about that, but we could, now that we've upped the game in that room, we can utilize it a lot more. And we have some other ideas for the rest of the space. And so real quickly, we have technician training coming up, that's 5 days. That's gonna be a Friday night, a Saturday and Sunday, 15th, 16th, 17th of May. And then again on the 30th and 31st of May. I put those on the weekend so that our volunteer firefighters can come and get their technician training rather than having to take a week off of work to be here 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. They can't do that, but they have evenings and weekends free, some of them. So we put the training on, and that's coming up in May. Technician safety officer training at the end of June, that'll also be out there. This is all, by the way, all these trainings, with the exception of the addressing training and the burp training and the 911 vendor meeting, but all the trainings we've had and the trainings that I'm talking about now are all supported by the Hazardous Materials Emergency Preparedness Grant and PUCO. They're paying for 80% of our costs on that. So coming out of LEPC's budget is only 20% for the cost of, it's gonna be about, this year it's gonna be about 30,000. We're only paying 20% of that. The rest of it's being covered through grant. May 30th. Also May 30th, same time as we're having that training there, which I'm not gonna be involved in because our LEPC exercises that day. It's an EOC exercise just like last year. It'll be from 8 to 12, and it'll utilize the stuff that we learned we were deficient in last year. We're using that to boost up this year. I didn't want to wait 3 years to have that same exercise again. I wanted to institute the things that we learned last year right away. So that'll be on May 30th. Also, on May 13th, Wednesday, May 13th, I know I'm jumping back here, Seneca County EMA is working with the leadership, Seneca County leadership,
Yeah, I'm glad you stepped
with
up.
Roth ID tags. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna help them put those together. CERT is gonna help them put those together. And then they're gonna pass that program on to EMA and we'll facilitate it going further. That way it wasn't just a one-year thing with leadership. And whatever extra money they've raised and the money that we had donated will all go into a pot and we'll make sure that those trainings and whatnot continue on. And this afternoon, in about an hour actually, I'll be talking to the Safety Council. I'm doing a spring weather and EMA and weather awareness and preparedness presentation for the Safety Council. And I'm doing that and opened up to anybody who wants me to come speak at their meeting, Rotary, Elks, Kiwanis, whoever, you know. Well, I want to get our message out, education-wise, and what we're available for.
That's good, good stuff.
And so I'm doing that this afternoon. That's all I've got.
Very good. Thank you.
Sure.
Good job.
Anybody else?
I'll speak real quick.
Okay.
Jim Distel, candidate for Seneca County Commissioner on the Republican ballot, May 5th. First off, I want to thank Bill for running a clean race. Everything was very interesting. I mean, doing door to door, doing the mailers, talking to different people. It's enlightening. I've had a lot of my friends say, you know, are you crazy? What are you doing? Doing that? You must hate yourself. I love our community. It's really eye-opening when you go and do it. For 21 years, I've been a Clinton Township trustee, and running in Clinton Townships, which were one of the largest townships in Seneca County. It's a whole different ballgame running in the commissioner race versus trustee race. Working in the private sector, it was interesting here in the workman's comp side of it, because I deal with the workman's comp on it in the private sector, but I also deal with it a little bit with our township, which is a lot smaller scale. So to hear what you guys had to say was very interesting, and that's why I got your business card, so I can follow through with that. But I do urge everybody, I mean, there's no more absentee ballots, so urge everybody to get out and vote, and just vote, basically. I mean, Bill and I are both vying for this seat, and I would appreciate your vote, but the bottom line is, please vote. So thank you for your time, and it's been enjoyable coming to these meetings. I've watched them on YouTube and the replays, and actually sitting in the meeting and being involved in it's a little bit different than just watching it. So thank you, guys.
Anybody else? Okay. Meeting adjourned.
53 minutes.
Still shorter than our trustee meetings.